the President has asked me to convey key highlights of the meeting of the last few days in Abuja. As you know, it was the President's debut meeting of ECOWAS heads of state, and the meeting centered around key issues of peace and security, the issue of regional integration, and of course good governance, and how we continue to run the community, the ECOWAS community, in a way that will support the aspirations of the member states, especially as we all work towards Agenda 2063, looking at shared prosperity. And so the President was with his peers, he was with his brothers. They had closed-door sessions where there were presidents only, where they discussed major security issues. As you know, they discussed the fact that family members, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, have taken steps leaving the community. And of course, it was agreed amongst the brothers that efforts will be made to ensure that the community demonstrates to the three countries that we want to keep a family intact. And so the head of the authority of heads of state delegated the president of Senegal to go as an envoy to the three countries, and also other mechanisms were discussed in terms of how we engage within the sub-region. We also shared with them the plans that we have as Liberia to work with our neighbors to revitalize the Mano River Union, and we shared the efforts will reinforce and support the ECOWAS family strengthening. The president was able to give a speech to the body, to the ECOWAS body, and he also made some very strong interventions in relation to the need for us to work together and remain one family, and to continue to work to keep the three countries in the fold. The heads of state agreed that there was no need for an election of a new head, because they unanimously decided that the president of Nigeria should continue for another year as the head of the authority of heads of state, primarily because the stability and continuity of the leadership right now is important for the sub-region with all of the challenges the sub-region is facing. The meeting also ensured that the president had sidelines where he engaged with other heads of state, and we had bilaterals, especially with Nigeria. We had other bilateral conversations between the president and his brothers, and the meeting, we can say, was fruitful, and we can definitely say that Liberia made her presence felt. Preceding the heads of state summit was the meeting of the ministers, where I participated along with Deputy Minister Ibrahim Nyang, and of course, an ambassador, Alassane Conte. We put forth Liberia's candidacy for the UN Security Council, and Guinea-Bissau had also put forward their candidacy. And I'm proud and happy to inform you that Guinea-Bissau, as a brother to Liberia, decided to step aside to allow Liberia go, so that we'll not fight. Not using the word fight in the physical sense, but that would not tussle over the candidacy for the UN Security Council for 2026-2027. Guinea-Bissau graciously, like a family member should, graciously offered to step out, and we agreed that we will all support Guinea-Bissau for 2028-2029, while we'll also support Liberia for 2026-2027 seat, the non-permanent seat of the UN Security Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take just two questions. Yes.
Yes, Madam Minister. My name is Moses Pakolo, and I report for the University of Liberia. Speaking of Agenda 2063, there are, on the salon of the ECOWAS Summit, what came out is the fact that the ECOWAS itself is saying that support to the institution itself from member states is a problem. And Liberia is has been named as one of the countries that holds ECOWAS and land. So what kind of commitment is the president or the government make to ECOWAS to ensure that we do not fall behind in terms of not being of our commitment for the ECOWAS body?
So you are right. The discussion did center also on the need for us to continue to make contributions to the functioning of the community, and the issue of levy, the issue of remittance of levy came up, and we were able to indicate at the ministerial meeting and at the heads of state meeting our commitment. We've demonstrated that commitment this year by already making a payment towards the amount we owe Right now, we're over $18 million because over a few years, not all of the levy that was collected was remitted to ECOWAS, but we've done a great deal in trying to restore their optimism in us making good on our commitment. We demonstrated it by making a payment this year. We'll continue to make payments and work our way to a place where we'll be at a regular level. Also, as you indicated, the standby force of ECOWAS is really important at this time. And so the contributions, the resources needed for ECOWAS also are important to ensure a functional standby force.
Take one more.
Madam Minister, my name is Pastor Talo. I work for ELBC. And you talked about the stability of the sub-region and looking at the issue with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger taking or leaving the ECOWAS bloc. Is the President concerned about the sanity of ECOWAS and the membership of these countries that have left ECOWAS?
The President is concerned, and he also demonstrated his leadership as an elder statesman in the community by offering Liberia support to help to keep the three countries in. He offered Liberia support and said we stand ready to do whatever is necessary because we want to make sure that ECOWAS remains intact. Let me say this to you. On the continent of Africa, the regional economic commissions, ECOWAS has been known for decades to be the strongest, to be the best. Others try to follow ECOWAS' example. So what's happening now is a concern for the continent, and we want to make sure that Liberia is part of the narrative of trying to have a reversal in the situation that's happening now. There also will be, finally, next year ECOWAS will be 50 years old. There will be a special summit to discuss the future of ECOWAS. We put forth as Liberia, our president indicated that we think there needs to be a review of ECOWAS functionality over the years so that we go into that summit with information that will help us to shape the ECOWAS we want for the future. In that review, we're calling on former leaders to be part of that review process. So we look at how ECOWAS functioned years ago, the ECOWAS that came into Liberia as ECOMOG and was able to help Liberia stabilize and have our peace today. That same ECOWAS is what we need for the future, but maybe a different ECOWAS that will be able to confront the growing challenges of violence, extremism, and terrorism, and so forth. Thank you very much.
Thank you.